Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Amazing Spider from Hennie Brouwer. This will still be a quickie. Boy, we had a fun time with this. I was going to say interesting time. We had a fun time with this. This was our the featured tangle for our Tough Tangle Tuesday, and it really earned the title. I'm hoping that by now, having done 2 sessions of this, that can hopefully explain it even better. Um, this one takes a lot of patience and a lot of focus. So fasten your seatbelts and we'll get going. All right. So this starts off with a dot grid. And I am going to, let's see if I can replicate what how I was playing. All right, I'm going to do my best here to do a 5 square grid. Sometimes this is how I do a dot grid, because that way if I can get it nice and evenly spaced here and evenly spaced here, then I can come back and like visualize, okay, here is the square, and then sometimes, I might zigzag around. It seems to help. It's not perfect. And of course, well, no, I'm not even going to say that. Never mind. Okay, I will. Um, you're really going, oh, come on. Well, if there is dot grid paper out there, you might, if I like to do things by hand because I'm always working to prove to myself, and work towards things. But at the same time, everybody's different, and so feel free if you need to, use some, a dot grid paper. That's perfectly fine. I won't tell. All right. So we had, like I said, we had some challenges with this. It definitely earned its way. We should have a Hall of Fame for Tough Tangle Tuesday. This will win number one. So let me first say, in the description section, you will find links to the step outs. And so I have Hennie's step out, my version of the step out, and then Alyssa Hergert, who is also a CZT and an amazing Tangle addict, part of our wonderful community. She came up with something that really seemed to help. And so I'm going to include all of those in the description section. Um, and I always like to share different ways to look at things, because everybody hears and sees and thinks differently. So something's going to hit. So I apologize. Don't let it throw you off, um, because that's not the intention. Nor is it the intention that I was like, it's not that I'm scattered. It is actually something that I just do. Um, I have many analogies and many many different ways to think about something. So I'm going to start with Alyssa's because it really did seem to help. And so with hers, and I'm going to just do it in pencil because it's going to end up being part of the design. Because I'm more of a purist, and so I'm like, oh, I don't want to do things that this you wouldn't erase later, so it fits in. So the challenge with this was where to, just focusing on how to do this initial structure. And so this, which will become part of the design, I'm going, because I did a dot grid, so this goes straight through the middle, because that's where I want to do this first thing. And so if you do that, and you can do this in pen, because if you decorate it with the fan shape, as you saw in the picture, then you're fine. It'll be part of the design. So then what you do, so we draw a straight line here, skip 2 dots, and then and these are diagonal, right? Skip 2 coming down here and diagonal. So you have something like this. Maybe there's a way I can share all of the ideas I had in one thing. If you subscribe to my blog, you'll get the replays. If you subscribe to this YouTube channel, you will see the replays when I get them posted. And then you can hear all of the different ways that I did try to describe it. I don't think it was really too many. It just it's somewhat confusing. So with this one, here's how I did it on my step out. I picked the center. Oh, I'm not. I don't want to use that pen. I picked the center. Where I want the center of this quote spider to be. And so what I did is I drew my grid square, but then when I'm working, I'm looking at it this way. And that throws some people off. So I don't mean to throw people off. So whichever way you want to look at it, these lines do seem to help. So on my step out, I put oh, actually, you know what? Let me back up a step. I'm sorry. In Alyssa's step out, drew these lines, and then everything that isn't connected, you basically put an orb around. But if you want to do it as you go, this is what you could also do. And this is how my step out goes. So I went from the furthest, so looking at it this way, here's the center, here's these outside, the furthest on the outside, this is going to become the center. And I just put orbs around those dots. And then using the takeoff and land concept, which is I'm tracing over the outside of the orb a little bit, making a curved line to what's going to be, I've been calling it the center point. And then same thing from this side. Okay. And then we have two dots above, two dots below, and this is how I did it in mine. So it's like, okay, we have this structure started, and then we can do the other orbs, and it's the same stroke. So once you have your orbs, and I'm turning my tile so that way I can utilize the natural curve of my hand. All right, and there we go. And like I said, it's the same stroke. So on Hennie's, oh, and that looks a little blurry. Let me fix that. I thought I had it set. That's better. On Hennie's, she started, her first step is just this. I felt the need to break it down. So that's why I've explained that versus having to figure out, okay, how do I do that? How am I selecting this so that way I can continue to go? Maybe I am thinking too hard. That's entirely possible. So in Alyssa's step out, she suggested just doing all of the dots, which you certainly could if that works better for you. Another thought was looking at it on the grid as a grid this way. You could do north, south, east, west, doing the orbs. And then you could do your curve lines then too, and then know that you're filling in these two. We're doing nothing on this diagonal because those are all going to be new center dots, if that makes sense. Well, it'll make sense right now because we're going to move it down. So once you have one done, and then it's really rinse and repeat. We're going to work our way down first, and then we'll go up on this diagonal line of dots. So on the next one, these two become this top here. So same idea. My pen is being, oops, and you can't see my hand. Let me get a pen that works. I think that one is seen better days. Oh, here we go. Fingers crossed. Okay, got that. All right, let me move it this way so you can see. Yes, you can. Okay, and then we can just keep working our way down. And I am, yes, going out of order from my original because I just felt the need to start in the center. I don't know. I saw it that way. And so that I'm sharing that because you might not see it that way. And you could, pick your center point and then just start at the top and work your way down. Completely up to you. It's all good. Those last two weren't very curvy, were they? And then so we're essentially starting over, but we'll just finish with that. One of the things that I noticed, and this helped, especially as I was going up from here, is you see it creates the neat fan shape. So I found that that helped me be grounded too. Well, that plus focusing in on, okay, here's the center dot. There are 6 things that come into that center dot, 6 curve lines. So if I kind of got lost, it's like, okay, wait, let me just take an inventory. So here's our new center dot, and we're say working our way up. But it also, as we do these curve lines, it creates that fan shape. So it kind of goes fan shape. Oops, let's put these orbs out here. Fan shape, and then this to me looks like a balancing bar, on a high wire act or something like that. And then we'll put ones on here. And these orbs, we can fill these in afterwards. That's, because right now they look like eyes. And then the last one is we would be coming up to this new center dot. We would be if this grid went on, you just keep going, both directions, however big your grid is. Okay. Then we're going to turn it 180 degrees, so all the way around. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go in the opposite direction. So I tend to pick the long dot, the long one right here, and you see, we penciled in this line from Alyssa's step out. We're gonna, and if you don't decide not to do that, you pick one of these. We're doing the curve line down, right? And so, like that. And then here is your other half. So this half is, you've already got the orbs around the dots. This half you would have to fill in. Now because I've only done a 5-square grid, this is going to be very limited. But I think you get the idea. And then I always have to think. Oh yeah, because I'm remembering from here. Oh wait. See, and I do still always have to keep looking. This would be going here, but I think these are. Oh yeah, because here's a new set. Okay, take that back. This one was our center. Let's continue to, because we have some down here that we need to add. Like that. And I don't have anything over here, so I'm not going to. And then this one. But if we had continued the grid, you would have one here, you would bring in, and one here. Now this is the new center grid, or center dot, sorry. It helps if I get my own terms straight. Okay, so there's one. Here's going to be number 2. And then here would be number 3. And then, we're going to leave it still the same direction. And you see the neat like meta shapes that are coming out of this. All right, so we'll hit this again. So I'm going to focus on this. This is our first center dot. So I'm going to do this curve line down to there. This one gets a orb around it, and that one is going to come down also. Sorry, I just need to turn it. Okay. And then, because this is the center point, so this one is going to come to that point, and so is this one. And again, if we had stuff over here, that will be coming in also. And then here's our new dot. That's going to be our new center. So this continues, and that creates that fan shape, right? And then from here, and then from here. Yeah. There we go. All right. Now, to create, that you can decorate this however you wish. I will go ahead and show what we did, what it looks like on, from the, from Hennie. Oh, no, actually it wasn't Hennie's example. Let's see. Whose page is this? Somebody's page that did a tutorial. It might, yeah, no, it's somebody else's. But you know what? And actually I will put also a link to Hennie's Instagram account. So you can see it there as well. All right. I had found it on Pinterest and it linked to this, and the other links on this one didn't work. So I'm finding everything backwards. Okay, so to decorate this like a fan, so from the center, I kind of come up and then to one side. So like divide and then subdivide, subdivide. And see how that takes care of that line. So if you ended up doing, this line in pen, it ends up, working out just fine. Sorry. Okay. Then, so I have to make sure to work off of the side here. All right. So then what I do is, now you could leave it just like that because it looks cool. But you can also add some rounding to it. And rounding is just, let me just get that here so you can see, we're just cutting off the corners. And you can make those, any, let me show. Sometimes I'll just go and round the whole thing off and then redefine these lines because usually it gets a little sloppy, like it did just right there. Let's do that again. Yeah, so you can shape those however you want to, and it's just a really really neat effect. And then filling in, it's also a nice course corrector. Things get a little south, you can always come and fill it in like here. It's like, oh, I can just shave a little bit off of there by redefining it. Here I went over a little bit, so kind of same thing. Oh, let me just trace over that a little bit. Oh, you can't even see it anymore. And you can just play with those like that. And you know what? So you get the idea. I don't want to take. I want this to sort of stay a quickie. All right, and I can finish this up afterwards. All right. So that's how you do the fan shape. And then in the one example that I'm looking at, which I'm putting that link on there because this is where I found it, and hopefully I'll find whose page this is. That's so funny. It's time for tangling. Oh, it's Linda. I don't know Linda's last name, so I'll find out. Okay, but anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful sample. So here's what you can do. We can aura these. So very carefully, I am auraing that edge and this edge. Now, I'm not going to fit any more through there, so then what I'm going to do is I'm coming up carefully, just kind of to a point, and bringing it back down. And I can fit one more in there. Same thing over here, like so. And then these ones, same idea. Just auraing both sides until you hit, wow, the middle. Good to go slow. And like I said, you just keep going until you're not gonna fit. Oh, like that. I don't think I'm gonna fit two between there. So just like so. Like that. And then now to do shading. Oh, actually, while I'm doing this little bit that I have done, See how neat it looks when you, and at any point you could fill these in, or do whatever you want with them. Honestly, I mean, you could leave them with the dot in the middle. You could make the dot a little bit, maybe a little bit bigger or something. Completely up to you. But for shading, it's where things tuck in, right? So I'm putting shading right here. We'll put some shading here. You can see how I dug in with the pen because it leaves a little bit of a line there where I can't get the pencil to go over. Okay. So on all those edges, and then we're just going to spread it with the tortillon a little bit. Whoops, whoops. And you can see how it's taking shape already. Now, because I cannot resist this shape without a line dot dot, I'm doing it. You don't have to. I just happen to love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. In the Zentangle world. See how it just dresses it up. and if you want to, and I'm gonna do a little lighter graphite here, because you could create a little bit of shaping on these if you wanted to. Like so. And you can see, so and as you'll have already seen what it looks like because it'll be on that front graphic, but you see kind of how it's done. So this is what I finished during our Tough Tangle Tuesday, and this is same idea as what I've done here. It's just a little bit bigger grid, and on a Zendala, and I might do some other extra things to the outside. I just don't know. But it turned out rather neat. I used the gray pen, the light gray, instead of the black. So it adds a little bit of neat dimension with the grays, the gray against the black. So, well, this is a neat tangle. Like I said, it takes a little bit. Don't give up. Give it several tries. Take deep breaths. It's a fun accomplishment. I know that somebody had posted, I think it was a comment on a different video about this one is it was like worthy of doing until you've achieved it type of thing, and I think this one is too. It's so neat, and once you get the groove of it and you understand, then it seems to be a lot easier. Just every once in a while, it's still a go slow. And every once in a while, you kind of have to check back. But once you got it, you got it, and it's just gorgeous. So, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, love to have you click like, and if you'd like it enough to see more, I'd love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. Like I mentioned earlier, when whether or not you get notifications, if you get notifications, you get notifications. If you don't, then you come to YouTube and you'll see what's who has new content, and then you should see that when I have the playlists up. Also, you can go right to the home page of the YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking my name or my picture, and that'll take you there. And then you can search the playlists. So you can see I have a bunch of playlists, kind of by category. That's what my website's supposed to be. But right now, the YouTube channel is taking care of that for me. But you'll see I have a playlist of class replays. So when that's up, you will enjoy it. Let's see. I already mentioned the description section and finding videos. Below the videos is the link to my website, as well as my Facebook page and our Facebook group. So if you'd like to come hang out with a bunch of amazing tanglers, we would love to have you join us. So there are like 3 membership questions to gain entry to the group when you click on join, and if you do that, then will welcome you with open arms and full of pens and paper, and be ready to have some fun. So, with that, thanks so much for watching. Have fun with this, and I wish you happy tangling.